signed up for a sunset workshop. I haven't started yet, but I was doodling around and I realized it is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So,
it's always the way. I'm just laughing because
is.
that's how I feel about most classes too.
Right. And it's interesting because you think, well, there's not like structure per se, like a barn or a fence. But there really is structure in a way that we're looking atmospheric. And so it got me to thinking about, what does that mean for a painter? What does the atmosphere have to do with us in terms of selecting our palette and looking at our colors? And that's kind of why I had mentioned something in my message about really looking at your lights and darks, and also the temperature, our warms and our cools. And I know we've talked about this in landscape painting. Especially what comes to mind was when we were painting trees, I think, and it was Sandra was like, why aren't we doing the sky first and then the tree over it? And it got me to think about product, and when we're using product over product, meaning like a pastel that we do first and then laying another pastel over it. And that does work in some cases, but with a sunset where we have that atmosphere that we want to grasp in our painting, to show the movement of our clouds, and we don't want to lay the product over the product too much because it's going to get muddy. And I'm sure you all have gotten to that part where you're just scratching the pastel and then another one over it and another one over it, and you're like, okay, I'm done. So I really want to focus on that today, about blending techniques when we're doing skies. And so there's options of blending. We have, like I was doing this for Leah, testing on here, so you can see the color. So hopefully everyone can see okay. Let me know if you can't. This is just a testing piece of paper over my pastel mat. But I really want to talk about where we have, yeah.
Is that why you've chosen that paper? Because you want to do more blending?
No, it's just easier for you to see, I think, over the camera. I had a darker pastel paper. I'll show you. It's like a wine color, but for the ease of you actually seeing the pastel, I chose the lighter color. For this particular, I mean, it doesn't really matter what color you choose, and that's a good question or point to make. I tend to choose sometimes when I'm not doing an actual underpainting, looking at the already toned paper, and thinking like, okay, well, this is a little bit more blues, a little bit more reds, and I kind of align with that pastel mat usually is what I use. But in this case, I figured if I'm teaching a little bit more about the strokes and the blending, hopefully you can see it a little easier on this lighter color paper. And it started making me think about, like, how do we different strokes? And when I'm saying, let's lay broad strokes. Well, broad strokes is holding your pastel and using the side and doing this, dragging. See, it makes these nice broad, they're wide strokes, versus, and when we were doing our grasses, I was talking about these vertical pieces, right, where it was thin, straight marks. So today I'm going to be using those words like broad, wider strokes. We want the gesture of our clouds in our setup of when we're laying out our shapes to begin with. Another technique is where you can take a color and you kind of just, I'll do a darker color so you can see where you're just kind of doing dots and you're stifling it right next to each other with all these dots. And then you're kind of bringing in another color next to it. And together, you get these two colors that when you squint, they kind of become one color. So that's another technique of blending. And another one is glazing. And I do this a lot in my oil painting, of course. But glazing is taking one color and lightly bringing another color over it. You're not blending it, you're just glazing the color over. And it mixes. So that's just something that I want to kind of emphasize today. I generally don't blend a lot. I will in the first stages if I need to. I know I've talked about that, but today I want to show you how you can get your darks and your masses in and then lightly glaze the colors over to get that atmospheric look of those light wispy clouds. Something that I found online, it is hard to find really brights for affordable price. And there's this set, it's Richardson, if I say that right. They have these really bright colors, and I thought, oh, this might be a really cool set to have. And I'll send it over the link. They had some really fun bright pinks, orange, greens, blues. I thought if I needed some really brights, if I didn't have what I had, I'd actually probably look at getting this set. This was just through Amazon, but you can get it from anywhere. It looks like it's the Vibrant set is what it's called. And here's our picture. And I did it in black and white. So I didn't send out a palette of colors today, you guys. I figured we're just gonna have fun with color. Just grab whatever brights you have and really just focus on our values, our lights and darks. I actually cropped this picture and the land was kind of small. It was really thin, and I thought compositionally wise, it looked better if it was a little bit thicker band at the bottom. So I actually just kind of dragged the picture down a little bit. So I didn't do a thumbnail sketch on this. I probably should have. I highly recommend doing that. It helps get an idea of how you want to take away the detail and just put in the mass. And so I'm going to start with just a blue pastel. Oh, before I start laying this in, I did have this I wanted to show you. Blending. I did this real quick here, and I kind of wanted to show you what I'm talking about, and I'll take a picture so you can see. So testing, really leave some space on the side of your paper, or if you have testing paper, and remember layering. So I have like these dark navy blues that I put in here, and I was thinking, how am I going to get that nice deep color but warm enough to where it doesn't turn dark and dull? And so testing your pastel on the side here and then dragging your colors over it. You know, if you've got pinks or reds, and really light. This is just glazing over it. It mixes and you get this really, really pretty purple. This stick by itself, excuse me, is like a hot pink, but look at it when it comes right over that blue. It gives you that nice, pretty purple. So when we're looking at our picture, if you feel frustrated, you don't have maybe the right sticks in blending, think about, okay, I have this blue and I have this pink, and that's going to give me a really pretty purple, and mix it off to the side and see what it looks like. It might work better than an actual purple stick of that value. And I think it also gives it a nice richness too when you have multiple colors mixing like that. I have another picture of something that I had on I quickly mixed. Oops. Just to show you also how it looks when it can mix over each other. So that's our goal today. It doesn't have to be perfect. I want it to be learning to blend and mix the colors together, not blending with our hands, but with the pastel. So I'm going to start out. Oh, let's see here. I'm just going to draw a box here. Can everyone see okay? So I'm going to take my blue spruce, like a navy blue, hard pastel. You can use anything. I even have like this pink. It doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is we're just going to mop out the shapes, meaning, let me draw on here so you can see with the brighter color, but we're looking at these shapes. These are our dark shapes. We've got some darker areas in here. And look at the angle of how these clouds are coming up this way, right? Look at the angle of these clouds going this way. And then we've got middle value, light value, middle value, dark value. This is our darkest dark. So this is kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm going to lay out my composition on my, my pastel paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It doesn't have to be exact. So get in the horizon. It's all about the sky today. So our land is going to be way down in the very bottom of this painting. And then we're going to look at, let's see here, our darkest dark. I'm just using the side, very light touch. Very light touch. And then, and it's darker, right? Very light. I'm turning my pastel kind of at an angle because I know that these clouds are kind of gradating off to this gesture, meaning the way that I'm pulling my pastel. I'm always thinking the direction of what I'm painting. What direction are these clouds going? These are going this way. this is coming up this way. So we've got a mix kind of in the center. Have fun with it too, you know, kind of bring it up. And let's see here. Squinting my eyes, I'm just looking at the shapes. Got a little bit of dark, very, very light touch. Just indicating a little bit of where direction. This is helping my direction of where these clouds are sitting. And really, this is just our very, very, and look at as it gets up higher and higher right here into the center, that's going to be our really our lightest of our lights. The bright, bright color. It's actually even just like this in our value. It's pretty dark up in here. That's why I like turning this to a black and white, is you can really see. When we have atmosphere with our sunsets and our sunrises, what I mean is the particles of the sky. This in atmosphere, really, when we have a sunset, we're going to see a lot more reds, a lot more red colors that come into the sunsets because of the atmosphere. Those particulates, they're mixing in the sky and they're spreading out, and so we're seeing more red. Whereas in the mornings, it hasn't had the day for all of that atmosphere to kind of move around, those particles and move around. So we're going to have a lot more of those pinks and purples in the mornings. You will occasionally have red. I actually have a sunset or a sunrise at my work. For those who don't know, I work right on the Columbia River. And this is a huge river that funnels all the way, and it kind of separates Oregon and Washington. Well, my work sits right on the river, and I have a ton of pictures from the beautiful morning sunrises. But one in particular, I can find it here.
Yes,
While
please.
I'm looking, you guys send over your pictures. I'll take a picture here before I move on, but I want to show you because it was really amazing. It was red, and you do not see that very often in the mornings, like how I saw. It was so cool. Were you trying to say something, Sandra? Okay, here it is. It was crazy. And I mean, I haven't tried to paint this. You'll see why. But there is a glow of Mount Hood, which is a huge mountain in our area. And this was in the morning. And you can see the shadow coming off the top of the mountain. But look at all that red and orange. It was pretty cool.
That's insane. What a great picture.
Is that the view from your office, Maria?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God, you're so lucky.
how wide is the river? You can't even see the other side.
Isn't that amazing?
How wide is it?
It's very wide. It's a huge river. This is where like cruise ships and barges, we have one of the largest ports of shipping on the West Coast. So it's enormous. Yeah, it funnels right into the ocean. So if you were on a boat on the river here, you're about 4 hours by boat to the mouth into Astoria. But Leah has witnessed my morning postings at work that I have these amazing sunrises.
What do you do?
I work for the county, so our state's broken up into all these different counties. I work for there, and I'm an appraiser.
Oh,
So
cool.
I work with property taxes. But trust me, everyone likes me. It's just, yeah. So I get to go out along the county and I take a lot of pictures, which is awesome. So I'm always looking at different subjects. But the sunrises and the sunsets, it's so cool. I can show you so many. And maybe this is something that you guys, I can send over pictures, or if you have even pictures that you have sunsets or sunrise. I rather paint something that we all took.
Wow.
I have a lot of sunrises just from where I'm at on work.
So you have to start really early?
I do. Yeah, I work 4/10s, so I'm 7 to 5, Monday through Thursday. So I'm there at like 6:45 in the morning, and it's so cool because the mornings over the river. I want to show you one recently. This was in November, and this was a morning too. It's just beautiful. Has anyone been out here to Oregon before?
Sorry. But a very long time ago, and it was only the coast.
Okay.
I
Just went
spent a
up a coast
summer
from
in Medford, Oregon. once.
California to Washington.
Oh, very nice. Good, you guys. Okay, that's fine, Nina, on those soft pastels. That's great. One of the really nice things that you can do is just look. So I would suggest, Nina, take a picture of your pastels and then turn it to black and white so you really get an idea of your values. So when you're looking at your black and white picture and then your pastels, you're really learning what to use. And so that's going to be great. And you can do a really beautiful soft sunset. As long as your value is right, you can use basically the colors that you want. That's building off a palette. So I'm excited to see what it looks like, Nina. Good.
Hi, Marie. I'm looking forward to this. My first session. I was wondering if you can add me to the WhatsApp group.
Oh, yes.
Thank
Who
you.
is?
I'm Tashween. Hi.
Do I see you? Did
My-
Leah add you?
Oh,
She might not hear me. Let me, I'm gonna find out can you send me your number
sure thing.
in the chat and then I can add you? Thank you.
Very nice, William.
What was that?
William has sent us a London sunset, which is really nice as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a crazy evening cycling home from the office where I could see it was going to be a good one. So I was trying to get around all the good viewpoints in one go.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Lovely.
Okay, I would like that.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can add you here. Isn't that cool? I love sunsets and sunrises. So everyone just keep laying in the base colors here. And then while I get, and how do you say your name? Is it Tosh?
Tashween. Yes.
Tashween?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Thank
Okay.
you. Nice to meet you.
And who are you with, Thomson Reuters, or who are you with?
I'm with BuzzFeed News.
Let's see here. Okay.
I've been hopping in on the drawing classes.
Oh, you have? Oh, wonderful. That's great. I'm learning how to do this.
Thank you so much.
Okay. I know there's a way to do it. Might have to have Leah do it for me.
No problem.
Okay, well, when she comes back, I'll have her do it. Okay, so next thing we want to do, you guys, let's get in our dark colors. So it's very normal to want to lay our brights on top because that's what we see. But just like anything when I was talking about, we want to really look at the underneath color first, and then our lights are going to go over the top. So in order to keep it not muddy, we're going to start with some dark blues. And I've got a couple. What I showed you is like a ultramarine. It's really nice and pretty. It's a hard pastel, semi-hard pastel. And I'm just going to come in here on the center, and I'm going to move this because I've got a colored version underneath here.
Hey, Marie, can you send a picture of your pastel, please?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
I've got a few here. Oh, wow. You guys, all your your sunsets, I'm just seeing them. Whoa. So cool. So here's some blues and purples. Here's some that I just threw in my box. Just ranges of colors.
And
I
which one is
know-
the ultramarine you're using right now?
It is, I think it's I want to say a Cineae. Is that how you say it? I always say it wrong. Let me take a picture of it.
Sennelier.
Yeah, is that how do you say it, Sandra?
Sennelier.
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 Sennierle.
Sennelier.
Sennierle.
Sennelier.
I'm gonna have you say it, Sandra. It definitely has more chroma to it. It's brighter, so it's not as dark as that blue, because I really want it to be a little bit more vibrant in the center. Hey, Leah. Let me see if I can get her attention. Hey, Leah.
What's up? Oh yeah.
I have Tashwini. She's joining the class, but how do you add her in the WhatsApp? I forget.
You have to have. I'll do it. You have to have her in as a contact, which you do not.
Oh.
So it's easier.
Okay. She
So that's the, or you can, what you can do is just, well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
I'll tell you the ways that if I'm not here.
okay, because she sent over her number in the chat, but I was like, oh,
You need to, it's a pain in the ass
That's what
in the beginning of a chat. So my suggestion on the future ones, all of you, if you join a new chat, all the WhatsApp threads are at the roamingstudio.com Art at Work portal. So you can get them and join them. Just know that joining in the middle of a chat while Marie's trying to teach is not, or me, is not really very practical. It sort of disrupts flow and we don't want to do that. But hold on, I gotcha. This is easy.
okay.
I don't mean to be scoldy. I'm just,
No, that's fine.
make a
I
point.
didn't want to, yeah, I just wasn't sure.
Yep.
So I'm just light touch and I'm just looking at the dark colors underneath here, the blues. So I'm moving from here and I'm moving out into our darkest darks. I'm just looking underneath these orangey, pinky colors. What color is underneath that when I lay those orange and pinks, that it's going to read that depth. So I see, some nice blue, kind of purpley blue, it's more blue, and that's what I have. And I'm just going to do a light touch of that blue. And looking to see, where else can I use that blue? Probably down in here a little bit. Doesn't have to be exact, but a little bit of kind of blue up in here. Almost a little bit of blue. Might just drag it over. Very, very light touch. This is, I'll take a picture of it so you can see. And I'm just building on it, on these blues. As we move into the center, it gets a little darker. So this is just a shade darker on that blue, very light touch. Just kind of glazing over as it's optically mixing. It's mixing with that dark blue. Okay, so let's, as we move, let's kind of come down into here. It kind of turns a little bit more purple, right? Warmer, kind of more purple. So like a red, almost like a red violet. So I'm gonna look in my box here, testing what I have. And just testing down here. I think I'm gonna go with this purpley, using the side, very light, gesture, the angle. Bringing it in. Might use some of this down here, right? I might bring in my dark blue to kind of get that mopped in a little bit more. Okay. Let's do, looking at my purples. And I'm just adding some more purple, brighter. I add some of this. Bright purple. Ooh, that purple is bright. Try not to do hard lines, soft lines. Soft lines meaning this would be considered a hard line, right? We want soft, soft. Okay, let me take a picture here with these. Let's see here. Another purple. It's a little bit higher in chroma, brighter, not as dark. And I'm just, again, glazing that. Very light. I'm kind of leaving this space in here because that value is so much lighter. If we look over here, if we, again, you know, when we're talking about product over product, we're trying not to take away those lighter light areas. We want to preserve those as much as possible. So I'm not covering those lighter areas, just using really light touch. Come in with maybe a brighter blue. Very light. And I'd almost use that down in here. Like that. Maybe even just a more aqua, almost like a little warmer. We're moving down into the okay. Okay, let's go back to some of that warm purple. This is kind of like a maroon. I'm just gonna glaze it over that. It's kind of pretty. Okay. So when we're looking at, we've got a lot of pink, and then as we're moving down to the horizon, it's, you know, very intense orange, and then it gets cooler or warmer actually, and lighter in value. So I'm just thinking about how I want to blend and what do I want to lay down. So let's, this is kind of like a muted pink almost. See how this looks. It's kind of looking at how that cloud is. Yeah. Okay. Got some over here.
Is that like a salmony pink color you're using?
Yeah. My light isn't as well right here for me to see, but yeah, let me take a picture and send it. I haven't decided if I'm liking it or not. I have a brighter purpley, and I might use this more up into, let me show you the difference here. So it's one thing when we have the colors next to each other right in our hand, and then it's another to actually put it next to the colors on the painting. They can change a little bit. So here is some pinks. I'm just thinking about using a little bit of these purples. Like this is kind of that pinky purple. I like that. I like how it blends with that blue. And I'm just kind of following along here where I'm thinking that color rests in the painting. Very light. I'm just using the sides and letting it mix. I mean, literally a very light whisper touch. And see how it's mixing with those blues. And I'm gonna kind of put a little bit down in here. Just a little bit down in here. And it's amazing how you lay this pinky purple color next to that salmon. It almost makes that salmon look brown, right? But when you have it side by side in your hand, it doesn't look that. But when you put it on the paper, it changes, and it's changing because it's laying next to another color. And I'm just kind of drifting that over a little bit, cooling that down a little. Let's see if I've got, it's kind of a hard pastel purple. I like how it kind of pulls that soft pastel. I'm just using kind of quick marks. Okay. Let's get some of that. Almost like a salmon color, like you were saying, Linda. It's really right. I'm gonna add this in and then have you guys send over your pictures. See how the clouds are kind of coming horizontally, and then up here it's kind of coming vertically. So really using your pastel in very light. I don't want to lose that color underneath. When you have the light meet those dark edges, it's always a real good opportunity to blend and have those really nice transitions, right? Like what I'm talking about right here, this line where it's meeting this dark, or this line, you can really emphasize those transitions with the contrast of the dark and then the lighter colors. So those are always really good opportunities to bring in some very vibrant colors. And I'm just going to drift some of this salmon color right down into here. Always good to bring your colors all through your painting. It makes it more harmonious. Otherwise you have it segregated. If you're only using a certain palette on the top and a certain palette on the bottom, it just doesn't work well. It looks weird. Just, we don't want that. Okay, just lightly dragging that. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture and then everyone go ahead and send over where you're at. And I'll look at what you have. And I'll send over the reference photo for you, Tashwini, so you can see it again, because I don't know if you were able to
Thank you so
see
much.
that.
Yeah, Leah sent them all over.
Oh, okay, good.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, good, Janet. So now, don't be afraid, right, to add, if you can see here, start dragging your colors and mixing with them, right? So now we're gonna bring in some more color and mix right around in here. And so we're getting rid of those hard edges and making them soft edges. Very nice. Good. Good, Mira. Good. So same thing, right? So we're gonna come in here and now we're gonna start, I love this right in here. See how that real nice soft edge and that blending, that's great.
Mhm.
So we just want continue working those areas, blending.
Okay.
Very nice blending. Yeah, that's looking awesome. Good job.
Mhm.
Okay, Tashwini, good. So, oh, I love your colors. Woo, those are vibrant. Very nice. So just good blending. See if this will. Can you? I'm trying to so you can see it. Okay. Good. That's very nice. I love this blending. That's so nice right in there. Really soft. So in these darker areas, you can fill the tooth of the paper a little bit more with your darker colors.
Yeah.
So see, like right in here. Okay. So go ahead and lay a little bit more color right in that area. And what it's going to do is it's going to set this back a little bit, and this is going to come forward a little. So very nice. Good, Cindy. So right in here, I love all of these colors that you have. Again, see this line of the blue, right? Because we mopped that in. Now we just want to drag some of that color and blend with your sticks a little bit, but that's very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Go ahead and start filling in some of these areas with your purples and your pinks. And just, it's okay to just, we're just going to keep layering. Good. Oh, Julia, I love it. I love your mark making. Very nice. That looks great. You see, beautiful. Yeah. So you already see how you're laying that really pretty deep purple, red, violet, and then the brighter purple. Look how nice that sits on that dark blue. Whereas if you were just to lay that purple down, it wouldn't read as well as it does now. It's great. So go ahead and, you know, like these marks here, great. Just kind of blend them and feather them out. Did I get everyone's? Very nice. This is fun. I told you sunsets aren't easy. I mean, there's so much color and there's actually a lot to look at. And it's hard. It's like water. It's like doing trees. It's like anything. You're trying not to focus on the really light lights. You're just wanting to see what's underneath those really bright colors, because those are going to be our last bits that we lay on top. Ooh, I love it, Claudia. Very nice. So go ahead. I like how you did that very dark in the center. See if you can see on my phone here. So again, right up in here, that looks really pretty. I love that, those blendings. And so we're just going to work these edges right here where the blue and then your lighter colors meet. And so we're just going to kind of come back and forth over those edges for blending, so they're not too distracting, if that makes sense.
These are looking great, you guys. Really,
I know,
great.
aren't they?
Wonderful. Yeah, you're doing great. And,
They're doing
remember,
the blending.
The blending. And here's what I think is really interesting. I've just come in from watching these, right? I've been doing something else. So as I come back in, I'm like, oh, I recognize that this is a great beginning. But many people might look at this stage and think it looks awkward and messy. So like the interesting thing is, that to get from, you know, beginning to, like, I'm not talking about experience. I'm talking about from the beginning of a painting to the end of a painting. There's this long kind of awkward phase where you're laying in your values and you're trying to get those blends right. And these look amazing. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job, Tashween. You're jumping right in there.
I know.
She's jumping right in.
And
she's been
Nina,
having fun in the other classes. So
the
this
what?
is good. She's been having fun in the other classes. So it's good
That's
to see.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh, I love it. I love it. See how fun it is to mix the blending of the colors? And that's exactly what we're going to do as we move in. We're going to lay in our really fun oranges. So that's going to be our next step. I mean, it kind of reads that way right now just because of the color of my paper, but for some of you that may not be the case. So we're going to get some real bright, vibrant oranges in. And so here I go, oranges. Let me show you what I have here.
Leah, can you hear me?
I can text her.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take my really bright orange and I'm going to lay it right along this edge here. And this is a hard edge. It does look, it reads that way, but we're gonna blend it. Whew, that is bright. Okay. And I see bright orange down here, but it's not as bright up here. So we're gonna be working down in saturation and in temperature. This is just a step down in the orange family. Just going over some of that bright orange. Let's see. And I'm just using the edge of my pastel. Brighter in here, coming along here. Just blocking in. And then we're going to go even a shade lighter. Come right in here, still orange. If you don't have very many oranges in terms of range, that's okay. You can use a lighter, even like a cream, and mix over your darker orange, and it will lighten it for you. So again, just kind of moving in with the light. We've got a really yellowy area here. Whoops. Okay. It's even a brighter bright. Very light. We need to get some more purples in here. So I'm kind of coming down in here. It's a muted purple. Kind of comes up along here. Got some of that coming up underneath the orange. Ooh, that's too dark. That's why we have to test down here, huh? So I want to get just a little darker purple. That might be even too dark. I can bring that up in here. Come back to that brighter purple. Kind of have some down in here too, just a little bit. I'll come back to that orange. It's more muted actually as it comes out here. Let's see. It's like almost a pink, muted pink. Using really short strokes, and it's lightly coming over and blending. So I'm kind of blending these areas now together, so you're not going to see this underpainting, so to speak, for actually the pastel matte, which is fine. Okay. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. It's a lot of back and forth. Okay. And I think it's a little more interesting if we give it just a bit of a shape down below here rather than just a straight line, but it's fine. It doesn't make the painting bad or good. Now, if we were painting water, I'd get my ruler out because water does lay flat. So with the land, we do have that option of you know, giving space to our line, giving it a variant. And I'm going to add some of a little bit of our purple down in here, just for visual interest. Doesn't have to. Okay. Let's get up into here with some brighter pinks, like almost like a coral. And I come right into these bright areas, right over, using the side and blending. And I'm blending these colors underneath. See? And then you can just drag it right over.
Aha, so here is where we start to see some of the finishing touches. Notice that. Notice how much time it takes to lay down that base. It's all about the base.
I know, right?
The base.
It
pretty
is.
mama, base, the base, the base, pretty mama, not the base, the base. I know that's not even the words to this song. It's all about the base.
That's right, Leah. It is. I mean, you think about that's what you want to do is you want to just go in and paint those. Yeah. Take a picture. All about the edges. Here's some purple. Go ahead and send in what you have, everyone. This is the fun part. Good, Janet. So now you see what I'm using, that edge of that new pastel right here. And so this is where you get to come in on those edges. You can see right here where the dark and the lights meet. And you're going to take this and blend right along like this. See how it diffuses that line? Nice, Mira. So bring in your dark area right in here. Just bring it up just a little bit up into here so you don't have a straight band, right?
Okay. Okay.
So we're just going to blend out those dark, where the dark
Okay.
meets the lights.
Okay.
Very, very nice. Looks
Thank
good.
you.
Ooh, I like the color down there, Tashwini. That's pretty. Down in your yellows, the ochres. I like that. Yeah. So now we're just going to start laying in some real bright brights over that. Do you have hairspray or anything like that? You can use. Ooh, Natalia, I love the movement. It's very, very pretty. I like that. I love this area up in here. That looks really good. You're doing a good job on your mark making too. So go ahead and start laying in your oranges. It looks great. Very nice. Yes. Ooh, good job, Will. Yeah, that looks good. I love the colors. So that's exactly right. Like right in here, now just blend so where it kind of has that straight line on the edge here, right along here. What we don't want is a worm. I call it a worm. because it kind of does look that way, right? So that's where we want to break up those edges just a little bit, drifting some of your lights over that dark and then some of your darks up and kind of back and forth to where we see the dark, but not really the line per se. That looks great. Your blending is really good. You're doing a really good job. Oh, Nina, I love your light color palette. So what you want to do really nice and blending down below, really pay attention to your values. So I know you're limited in your palette. Really grab your dark colors and come back in and reestablish your darks. So if you, what you want to do right in here, do you see on the black and white? Right here is you have these darker areas. So I want you to come back in with your darker stick. Very nice. Good job, everyone. Ooh, Claudia, I love the colors. So what I want you to do is drag just a little bit of that really pretty light pinky coral up here. Take just a little bit and move it right down underneath so it kind of, there isn't a division in your painting. You know what I mean? Where we have a line here and then a line down here. So we just want to bring some of that color down in here, but very nice. Like you did down in here, that looks great. Because now it's saying that it's all together in one place and there isn't a division. Very nice. Yeah. Good job, everyone.
Marie?
Yeah.
What should I do with the hairspray?
Oh, so if you have hairspray, sometimes if you've filled up the tooth of the paper, you can take hairspray and spray it and it will dry and then you can lay more color over it. You won't be able to blend, but if you are at a point where it's turning muddy and every time you lay a color on it, it's not blending, you can spray a part of your painting and then it'll allow you to kind of like add more color to it. And it's kind of a fun technique. Or you can have, what paper are you using? Pastel paper?
I'm just using a charcoal paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just an old pad.
Yeah, so
newsprint is not bad as a secondary. It does hold the color really well, so
yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna grab something. But yeah, you can use the pastel paper because the pastel paper has sand in it, and that's that gritty part where it actually lets you layer the pastel on it. And newsprint isn't a bad alternative. It just won't let you layer as much.
Got it. I'll get some.
So that's the only downside of it. And
yeah, just more things to buy, Tashween. It's
I know.
its own, really, pastels is its own addiction. It is a very expensive habit. I'm just warning you, it's fantastic, but it is such an expensive habit. Sandra's laughing. She's like, oh yeah.
It is. But like, if you want the effects, sorry, I'm just grabbing this for my dog. If you want the effects of what you're seeing in the class, try to either, you can make your own pastel paper and I can help you with that outside of class, or get some of the sanded paper. It just will really help.
Julia, that's gorgeous.
Okay. Aren't they looking great?
Yes, they're doing great. I think that's a testimony to your good teaching, Marie. Honestly, I mean, I think we've got some really talented people here, but you've walked them far. You've taken them far very quickly. I'm pleased. It's really lovely.
Sorry, guys.
Ugh, fantastic. The real trick, and what I'm like impressed by what Julia's done, is to get that brightness right over the base layers. So you've done a
Exactly.
lovely job you've done a really tremendously good job of that.
And I mean, that is the hardest part of it's the blending, learning to blend and not make mud. And that's why we're going slow.
And this is the main challenge that is pastels. And
Yes.
it's like why it's so hard. You need layers. You need layers, but if you have to layer, if you have to think about each color that you're putting on so that you're not like, you know, it's funny. It's a similar to painting, except painting's easier because you can just let it dry with acrylic in 10 minutes and then go over it. With pastels, there is such a thing as too much. So it requires a kind of a thoughtful touch.
That's a
Ooh,
good way to put it.
Cindy, nice. Cindy, this is going to help you with your painting when you get back to painting. This is going to help you a lot. I can already see it. I can see that you are getting the idea of layering and
Yes.
color mixing, and it's great. Good for you. Bravo, girl.
Wow, you guys.
Yeah, bravo.
And I'm noticing with using this other phone that you guys are actually really being able to see the color better, it seems like, with
It's better. It's
yeah.
definitely better. I mean, it won't be perfect, but it's definitely much better.
Yeah.
Still slightly muted, but yeah, no, it's great. I'm trying some similar things in my noon class.
Woo! That's great, Tashwini. I love how you're adding the lights now over it. That is great. Look at the sky. Isn't that beautiful? I love it.
And is everybody admiring my new paintings of Hermes the kitten coming my way?
I was just looking at Sandra's. My gosh, the eyes.
Yeah, she does. That's her thing. That's what she does. That's Sandra's specialty.
Really?
I can't say I taught her that. She came into the class knowing how to do that.
Wow.
So teaching herself that. This is her thing, is these close-up faces of cats. And with funny expressions and in kind of unusual crops.
It's beautiful.
It's
My
so
gosh.
Oh, by the way, Janet, I love the
You.
I really love the sketch you posted, the marker sketch you posted yesterday of your figure drawing session. It's you have made an enormous leap. It has just happened, and it's very exciting to watch.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
Really nice work. Fantastic work, actually.
I saw that.
I know Jessica's saying, whoa, I'm like, damn. On fire.
It is.
There you go.
That was
This is-
Bree.
That was Bree, of course. She is the best, isn't she?
She's living in an RV on a CBD farm.
I love her so much.
Who was this?
This is my old gym teacher, like fitness teacher, yoga instructor.
Oh, I saw your post. Okay.
Yeah, she's fucking, and she's a model. I started her modeling for me a couple of years ago. She's an amazing model. And she has this fantastic, like, not only does she have this wonderful figure, but she's got these fantastic, like, bee stung lips face. She has a face that looks like it could be vintage 1900s, right? Or 1800s. She has a face that has a lot of depth and character to it. So she is just a blast to draw.
I was gonna say.
Energetically, she's a wonderful
Even in a
human.
lobster costume.
What's that? Yeah.
Works even in a lobster costume.
Even in a lobster costume. She used to come to the gym during Halloween wearing this big hot dog suit.
Really?
She would do yeah, she was a fantastic dancer and a great Zumba teacher. So she did all this great hip hop stuff, and she's a very funky girl. And she would come, she would do the whole thing in a hot dog costume, dressed like a hot dog. Very funny. She really is great. I'll probably have her pose for us so for those of you who move to figure drawing, which will be 4 sessions in a week starting in June, We will have some live sessions, and I'm sure she will model for me then. She's great. But Janet, I'm going to go back to this and say, great. I think something about this painting, transitioning this painting to this drawing you did to a painting that you're doing of Dante has like pushed up everything that you're doing.
The neurons are exploding.
The neurons are exploding with new skill. It only took 5 years, guys, of working really fucking hard every day.
Only took about 500 figure drawing sessions.
Yeah, it's probably 500, only about five, probably. And if you imagine, there's probably 10. So that's 5,000 drawings.
Well, Leah, wasn't there someone that taught you wherever you were at? I remember you saying like the portrait you needed to draw it like 10,000 times or something. I remember you telling a story about that.
My friend, my friend Lotto from the Republic of Georgia. Yeah, one of my old painting teachers was like, I painted a face, and then he was like, great, now do that 1,000 times, 10,000 times. That's kind of it.
Right.
It gets you, what's nice about it is it gets you out of this idea of there's no quick fixes. Like there's no quick fixing through this. I've really noticed this. I've taught people of all ages. You can really see it in very bright young children. So bright young children who are between the ages of 6 and 9, who intellectually can do things that are a lot more advanced, cannot get their hands and their eyes and their brains to coordinate any better than any normal 6-year-old. So you'll see like a 6-year-old who's really bright and gifted in math screaming and crying because they can't draw a circle, right? Because it's not just thinking. It's also, I have to see it, and then I have to get my hand to use the tool to do it. So this is a whole different level of training, no matter what age you are. We're always like, it's not just about looking at something, it's about working with each tool and learning what it can do. All of that takes time. So congratulations. Here's the rest of your life in front of you. No, there's nothing boring.
But it's true, because now as you're working on this, like Leah said, over and over, the same idea, lights and values, and looking at what's underneath and layering, it's going to help you in every single thing you do. It really does. It forces you to really pay attention.
Mira, nice work. Great value differentiation. Jean, there's some lovely layering going on in there. You may want to go back in with some darks.
Okay.
The darkest areas, but beautiful layering over of the lights over the midtones.
Yeah, I'm going in with the purples now.
Yeah, going in with the purples. She's going in, folks.
Here she goes. Very beautiful. Oh, Mira,
Aren't
I
they
love
wonderful? That. And Mira, I want to really credit you. You've been working so hard.
Yes.
When did you start doing this? Like 2 months ago?
Last month? Yeah,
a
month and a half ago. Yeah.
Month and a half ago. You've made incredible. If you go back and you look at your first efforts and you compare them to today's, you're going to be shocked at the difference.
Thank you.
Really?
We need to call it as we see it.
Yeah, huge growth, and you're putting in the work, and everyone is. And I mean, that's the thing, right? The more you work at it, the better you're going to get. So,
and we are going to tell you when you haven't done it right. So, so I sometimes I sometimes have to remember to go, oh no, that's really good.
Yeah.
Wow. I wanted to mention very quickly that the work that is done in this class might be posted on the roamingstudio.com website, unless you tell me you don't want me to. Instagram account. So, I'm going to put in the chat here. I want you to all follow. It's at the Roaming Studio on Instagram. I want you all to follow it so I can tag you when you do a good piece and get it to show up on your site. I will follow you if you follow me. You can also follow me. And you can also follow Marie. So you'll get to see what it is Marie's here. Hold on. Yeah, Jessica is the roaming part today. You are. You are. You're like our, I don't want to say our mascot, but I want to say you are absolutely the roaming part. I called it the roaming studio because I used to live other places and I was constantly moving around. Now I don't go anywhere. But as Jessica's pointed out, you can still be in the same place and still roam. Marie, what's your Instagram account again?
Oh, it's just marie.sandgathe. Yeah, I haven't set up my painting one yet.
Yep. So please follow Marie.Sandgathe can just be your painting one. You'll just stop posting stuff about your boys in there and post it on the stories. Not on the main feed. We'll talk about that. There's a way to handle that so that
I was wondering. Yeah.
Just stop posting candid shots on your Instagram, on your regular Instagram, so that when people pull it up, they've got like your best sort of work pictured, and then keep all your personal stuff, just put it through as a story. It'll still show up. You can still put it
I can do a separate personal Instagram.
I wouldn't even bother, Marie. I honestly, who has the time?
Say that again, Leah.
What's that?
About these two different kinds of postings.
Oh, yeah, I can talk to you about it. This is if you are a professional artist. So my Instagram is purely for my own art. You will notice your guys' art never shows up on there, and rarely do I post anything personal on the feed, meaning the stuff that stays, it's a more curated look. It's a more curated work. You might be showing work in progress. You might be showing like finished works, but you are definitely picking your best work and putting it forward, because that's stuff that stays in the feed.
But it's the feed versus what?
The stories. The stories. So all Instagram and Facebook feeds have stories which go away after 24 hours. So all the personal stuff, all the fun, like my little boy did this, my dog is doing this, blah, blah, blah. That all goes in stories. Lots of people, so people look at, because the stories go away, so they don't affect the curation of the feed. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're like trying to sell your work, it's important to do it.
I just didn't know the difference between the two.
Oh yeah, the stories. So, but what's interesting is lots of people go to stories. Like I spend a lot of my time looking at stories, because that is where you get to learn the personality of the artist and what they do and how they spend their time and what they find important, right? So that's like it is an important aspect, but it's definitely different. And some people will curate their feed, so they might do 3 pieces of a painting in order. So when it shows up in the feed, the 9 boxes, you know, when you can see all the posts, you'll see one painting like spelled out over 3.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways of thinking about it. Of course, now Instagram is becoming obsolete. TikTok is important. People are liking video more than still pictures, but I'm getting old and tired. I'm trying to keep up with it all. So
I'll second that, because my boys are always telling me like, "Mom, really?" Like,
yeah, somebody once, I remember going in and telling the T-Mobile guy that I want my phone to do this, this, and this, and he goes, "Oh yeah, my mom thinks about the phone that way." For them, they don't think of it as a tool that does certain things. For them, they're like, for younger people, it's like, it's just an extension of me.
And that's how my boys get frustrated, because they're like, "How do you not know this?" And I'm like, I didn't have internet when I was growing up. It didn't come until I was in college. And they're like, "Well, it's part of our life. How do you not know how to do these things?" I'm like,
oh, Marie, you old fogey.
How old are your boys, Marie?
My oldest is 18 and my youngest is he'll be 16 in a couple weeks. So
cool.
They always are teasing me like, "Yeah, Mom, remember when your phones were on strings and you had like some book you needed to look through for numbers?"
Yes, that's right.
I'm like, yeah, the good old days.
Do you slap them? Because I approve of child abuse when kids say like things like that.
I laugh because I just think you have no idea.
class going, but I'm not teaching it. Right
Yeah, they're pretty funny. So this is really the fun part.
But don't worry about it. Sleeping.
Hold on just a second. We're gonna just start we're gonna start laying our lights on top and blend in our darks and our lights. So this is the final ending of our painting.
I know.
Hold on just a second here.
Cindy, very nice. Also, seriously, you guys, I'd like everybody here in this class, if you aren't already, to follow by the end of class at the Roaming Studio, at Leah Kohlenberg, and at marie.sandgathe. They're all in the chat. Important so that we can tag you and credit you when we do. I just posted a fantastic picture of Friday's peacock paintings. They turned out so well.
Some of them are
And
amazing. Huh?
some of them are, yours is too. I love how yours.
Well, I
know
touched
you
up
were
the
like,
feathers.
yeah, it's all right, but like,
It looked like a fly curtain.
yes, but that's just because of the gouache thing. All right. Anyway, sorry, I'm
Yes.
going to let you guys continue on.
No, those peacock ones, oh my gosh, what a beautiful bird. That was so cool. Ooh, I love it, Cindy. That is looking beautiful. I love those colors. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it, Janet. Yeah. I just love sunsets. Yeah, so just where your darks and your lights meet each other, just start blending them. And I'll, oh, I forget. My Instagram is request only, so.
Also, you're going to get a lot of requests.
Well, it had, like Leah said, just do art on it and not personal stuff. So I'll switch mine.
Yeah, it says this account is private.
Yeah, and so and as soon as you send it, I'll just click on.
Yeah, I sent it.
Yeah.
It says requested.
And then I'll switch. Oh, Leah's little cow. Then I'll switch it to a different account for, like she was saying, don't do your boys or dog or anything like that.
Yeah, you suddenly become like a public figure in a way, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, exactly. See, and this is all learning about, and then Facebook, a lot of people seem like they're going away off Facebook. Do you guys feel that way?
No.
What's your thoughts?
I don't know.
Absolutely. Facebook is for old people.
That's what I hear.
That's what young people tell me. Like, seriously, Facebook is for old people. So
I think it's been like that for a while, but it's also the way in which Reuters very much connects. You know, that's the way that I connect to all my colleagues abroad.
You do, so, like,
yes, because it was almost an order a few years ago to get on it, from very high up. So I still, but sure, if I were 15 years old, I wouldn't be on it.
On the Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. But it's people my age, you know.
I am not on anything, and I am happy not to be.
Yeah, so there's that piece too. Like, so Julia, how do you find out about things from?
I live in blissful ignorance. I just don't want to be on, so I spend my whole life on tech, and I just don't want to be on tech the rest of my life. So just, you know, I'm not.
There is that.
And I have not been, I've resisted it from the beginning. So I'm like, I'm a security kind of freak. I think that's what it is. I just don't want anybody knowing anything about me. So
So that's the question, like, how do you find out about, let's say, different artists or different things?
I just go look and browse and take recommendations and yeah. But I don't follow things, so.
Yeah, okay. And this TikTok, I do not have that on my phone. I know my boys are always sending me all sorts of TikTok. I have not jumped into that yet. So what is it?
I don't trust it.
So
You don't-
it's short videos, and it's Chinese owned. And
Yeah.
under Trump, it was designated as some kind of a security risk. And it was going to be banned. And I actually got it on my phone before it was banned, almost out of rebellion. And now that Trump is gone, we haven't heard anything more about it.
Read the Reuters story about it.
What does it say?
I believe, wasn't it the Saudis or somebody who were spying, using it to spy on people?
God, if you have nothing to do better to do than spy on me, you're welcome.
I thought it was they were selling it to China. Wasn't China supposed to buy it?
It's Chinese owned.
It's China. Oh, okay. Okay. See? I know I'm
So that's partly why, because there was like a witch hunt on a Chinese company under Trump. And it's partly why.
Although, to be fair, if it's Facebook selling your data and, or if it's the Chinese, I mean, what's the difference really?
Yes, that is true.
So how does that work? I know, especially for you guys who is in that journalism and worrying about people taking care of or taking data or information. How, I mean, just.
I think you don't mix the two,
Yeah.
And you don't mix the two. And in Reuters, we have like encrypted ways of communicating and. Yeah, you wouldn't, if you're working on a story, you wouldn't start posting about it on Facebook until you've published it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I see Instagram is full of videos as well, annoyingly.
The videos are annoying.
I find it annoying because the sound comes on. I don't necessarily want sound. I don't necessarily, Particularly if I'm like looking at it overnight because I can't sleep. I don't want to wake up the cats.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandra, I had to think of you. I was walking in Montmartre today. I'm gonna make it quick, but there's a little atelier where a guy paints pictures of cats.
Oh, really?
And, I'll take a photo. I honestly, when I saw them, I was like, Sandra's is so much better.
How are they painting them? What medium?
It's not pastel. I think it's. I think it's oil. I'm not sure. But the cats just don't look. I don't know. They just don't really have the personality that you give them, I thought.
Aww.
But next time I'll walk by, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you. But I was like, I have to show this to Sandra.
Do you live in Montmartre?
Yeah, I just moved here. Yeah.
I used to live, the last time I lived in Paris was like 97, 98. And Reuters gave me a flat in Montmartre and it was awful.
Really?
I mean, it's a nice area, but my flat was awful.
Oh.
It was very dark. It was very old. The electricity was ancient from when they had invented it. And sometimes if you plugged something in the wall, it would spark and make sounds. And then there was a very intrusive concierge, of course.
Of course.
Who are these busybodies who look after buildings. Yes, I didn't have a good memory of it at all.
I loved Paris. My sister and I went there together. She took me on a trip and it was, I could live there.
It's a beautiful city. It kind of reminds me of a film set, you know. It's the French are very, I mean, the whole city is not perfect, but they're very thoughtful about city planning, about what the French call perspective, which is that from this place you can have this kind of view. And so it's been very well planned, as opposed to London, which I find in some parts they botched up the sides of the Thames, for instance. Paris is like, it is beautiful like a film set. The Parisians are not always very nice, though, I find.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah, I did. It was fun. I mean, everyone was very nice, but I was there just for a short trip.
Well, we should organize a trip, you know, yes, art class coming to Paris.
Oh my gosh. I'll organize it. That would be amazing. It was just, I had so much fun. It was, there was only one restaurant we had issues with, but I think they wanted to give our seats to their friends and we had reservations, so that was kind of awkward.
Oh, that was not very nice. No, they're not very nice, the Parisians.
Yeah, it was, we ended up leaving, but that was really our only downside.
So Marie, can you talk about putting the lights on without having them sink in?
Yes. So this is the trick, is getting them to blend, and it's very, very light touch. So really taking just the edge of your pastel, and let me grab it here, like right here, and you're just kind of short, just like that.
Tini, that looks fantastic.
I have to go. Thank you, Marie. I'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Good job. Good job. Come here, Molly. Come here, Tinker. Come here. Do you want to say hi, Molly?
Let's see your little face.
Come here, Tinker. You see her? Is she showing up? No, I don't know if I see her. No? I'll have to get her to come in here. The door's open and she's like, Mom, what are you doing?
But she's not coming in?
Yeah, she can come in. Let me take a picture and send this.
Hey, that's amazing. I thought it was a photograph.
It's beautiful, Jean.
Thank you.
Wow. Jeannie, that's beautiful. Mira, very nice. Woo, I love the purples.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is so fun. So this is just, so Janet, you were asking about like how do we blend lightly, and so you're just gonna take your light and then your darks, and you're just gonna kind of go back and forth on those edges, just very light, and it will mix, so it won't be a hard line. Is that what you were asking?
Well, I'm talking about like putting some lights on top of the darks.
Like the brights?
Yeah.
So you can fix your darks if you want. But I think,
how's everybody feeling about sunsets right now?
Okay, come here.
What were you going to say, Marie? You can
what?
Take your bright stick, like a real bright. So meaning like this color is like a coral, let me take a picture of it. It's gonna show up far better than, oh, what did I do with my phone? Must have picked it up. Oh my gosh. It's like crazy. I know I set it down somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay.
I'm sort of going through all the WhatsApp threads right now, looking for new art to send to the Reuters, to refresh the Reuters feed with, the one that's on the front page.
Yeah.
And there's just so much good stuff here, you guys. Holy, Cindy Quillinan. Cindy. Good job.
Ooh. Beautiful, Julia.
Janet, nice work too. Wow, sorry. I'm just going through and looking.
No, that's fine. So Jana, if you're taking like this bright
Julia, yeah,
coral, that's what is that you're gonna just come right over that dark, and it will lay right over the top of it.
Will, really nice. Good job, you guys. So are you enjoying sunsets?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to spend a month in sunsets.
Julia, that's amazing.
My sister goes to Hawaii a lot, or she used to before this all happened. But I told her we were going to start on sunsets. She's immediately started deluging me with photographs of sunsets.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing, is you're just bringing in your brights right over the top. I have this, it's like a magenta, and it's a great color to blend right along this dark blue and orange. Let me show you what it does. See that transition?
Wow. That's gorgeous. Yeah. It looks like something from outer space.
Yes. But that is it, right? We are in outer space when you're looking that way.
Sort of, yeah.
So look at that. That is really key, what she's doing there. This is the hard work, this kind of finishing touches, getting that bright. And then there's this little neutral that happens when you mix the two together, right? And then you're splashing little bits of light into the dark as well. That's, I'd say, the biggest challenge, right, Marie, is kind of getting those to sit right.
So where those edges are, and it's all about edges. I know Leo will just drill that into your head, but it's all about those edges. That's the opportunity that you have right there, where that real warm bright comes into that, and it's moving up into those clouds, and you're thinking that transition line. How can we blend that transition line? I know, Molly. Come here.
She's almost
I know. Brother had to leave.
Oh.
She
I am, by the way, sending, this is hilarious. So one of the students in the European class who painted this peacock has a peacock that lives outside her house that's wild in California. God. So anyway, she put her, I just sent you a picture. She put her painting of the peacock out, and he put his little tail up.
Whoa.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow, that is, I can't believe how big.
And the headline was, he liked it. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Do you want to say hi, Molly? Molly.
Bubbles says hello.
Hi, Bubbles.
Wait. Nope. You can't eat that. Okay, sit. Can you sit? No.
And Sandra, you will be happy to know Hermes is now going outside. So he is like zooming around.
Under supervision or not?
Under supervision, loose.
Oh,
I've
good.
been in and out watching him just to make sure. It turned out he broke through one of my studio windows without me knowing and spent a whole bunch of time outside without me knowing. Yeah, 2 days on Friday, just busted through old window.
So be careful because male cats roam differently than females.
Yes.
Females usually stay nearby. The male cats, they kind of circle and they go further and further away.
Yes, I see
Be very
that.
careful.
I see
And
that.
particularly don't let them out at night.
No, God, no, never. We don't let anybody, no cats go out at night around here. But I am mostly supervising him and I'm keeping him in sight. So he is, and I'm noticing he's, you know, he's still a baby. So he's still, but he's happier than I have ever seen him. Like right now, he's really happy.
They get addicted to it, you know.
Yes.
You're going to have a hard time keeping him in.
Yes. All right, guys, we are at 10:56. So Marie, you can go ahead and do some, let's see where everybody's at.
Yes, send in. Oof. Did you chew this, Molly? Did you chew this? Come here. Yeah, she's a good girl. No. All right, everyone. Good job. This was fun.
Here he is.
It's great that the peacock like the...
Here he is, back in, safe and sound.
It's great that the peacock like the picture, right?
Isn't that hilarious?
He was displaying
it's hilarious.
Of a
Very nice.
Yeah. And then again, apparently the peacock is displaying at her husband and all over the place too. He's the only peacock left.
He must be very lonely. What a shame.
Yeah, I know. So everybody's very sweet. Come up and show Sandra.
Just a big show off, that peacock.
He is. Here's Hermes, by the way, Sandra, if you can see my back. He's like,
oh, Hermes.
Yeah, he's having a good time. I will be careful. How do you keep your cats in the yard, Sandra?
So I have a special fencing when my fence is really high, and then I have a special net, and I have something I imported from Australia. Even so, Lion at the moment manages to escape, so I'm not letting him out, and I'm too weak to start climbing on ladders. And
and running after them. I get
I'm running after him. He comes back by himself, but it's anxiety each time. There's some big roads nearby, so
Janet,
basically
nice.
The garden is especially fenced in. But if they want to go out, they're Bengals, and they can
get out.
He's the one who wants to. The other two seem to be okay. The dragon, I think, is too fat. I think he managed to escape once.
I think what I'm trying to do with Hermes is keep have him out only when I can be out there with him. So
yes, so do I. I mean, I don't let him out if I'm not here. If I'm out.
But Mooka is the same actually. But I don't worry about her so much because she always comes back.
She's older. She's a girl. It's very different.
Yeah,
and she knows the place, right?
Yeah.
But boys, they go further and further and further, and females don't do that.
Really?
Beautiful, Julia.
Oh,
great.
Well, anyway, we'll talk about this. Is there a way to let him go out, but not, or is it always kind of a risk?
It's always going to be a risk. Unless you can fence in your garden, and even so.
You can build a catio for him.
He does have a catio, but it's definitely not big enough.
Well,
yeah. It's definitely not big enough. I know, buddy.
Very nice. Beautiful blending, you guys.
You could try to leash train him. A lot of Bengals are leash trained.
But most people don't let I've always had boy cats and let them roam, but I haven't had but they sort of came to me.
It shortens their life, it shortens their life.
Yeah.
I mean, that they end up dying much sooner. Something happens, they get run over, something happens.
Right.
So it's a risk that sometimes you decide to take, but it's always a heartbreak.
But it's always a tough, yes, it's a tough risk. All right. So everybody, Marie, have you done your last set of things? Shall I pull
Yep.
your, all right.
We're all done and everyone did such a great job.
Yep.
Natalia just sent hers in and
nice.
I love the gestures of those clouds.
So go ahead and show hold up, if you've got a screen, and you can, turn your screen on for a minute and hold up what you've got so everybody can see what everybody else did. I'll probably try and take a picture of everyone's. Let's see. All right, everybody. Yeah. Oh, this is some beautiful.
Wow.
Gorgeous. Marie, hold yours up too. Sandra, hold yours up.
I didn't do one.
Oh, okay.
I did Hermes.
She was doing her.
Got it.
Kitty.
Wonderful. Got it. Nice work, everybody. Great work today. All right, this will be up on the thread, up on the YouTube channel within an hour. And great work, everybody. Have fun with sunsets this month.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Nice
Thanks
work.
very much.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
Have
Bye,
a good luck,
everyone.
Jane. Have a great
Thank
first
you.
day
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Marie. Thanks, Leah.
Bye.
Yep, thank you.